YouTube, it's your boy Estefanos, and I'm finally back with a new video. Okay, I need to find. Welcome back, guys. It's been a while. I hope you all enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I hope you all had some fun with your family, friends, whatever you guys did, first of all. And yeah, so today's video, if you guys might recognize what the point of the video is by the title, but basically, I think it's time I talk about something that I like to do when I'm not filming. As a lot of you who know me may know, I'm a Spider-Man fan. I love all this. I've watched pretty much all the Spider-Man movies except, like, when I mean by watched all the Spider-Man movies, the ones that I've seen all the way are Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, which are my favorites. The Amazing Spider-Man, No Way Home, which isn't one of my favorites, Homecoming, Far From Home. Okay, first of all, the ones that I've seen fully are Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. That's it. But like have seen, like my sec, like my like I. But anyways, I've seen like pretty much all the shows like Marvel Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, obviously, and the whole pretty much the most of the shebang. But basically, as a Spider-Man fan, I've always wanted to like have my own ideas of creating my own stories, my own adventure, my own episodes. So, for the past couple years, I've been writing my own Spider-Man universe. It's basically my version of Peter Parker's journey as Spider-Man and his adventures in New York City being its one and only hero. In my universe, like pretty much like the Spider-Verse movies, the Avengers don't exist. It's just Spider-Man as New York City's main hero, along with other web-slinging heroes, or even just tech-based heroes. So basically, my show is titled "The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man (brackets Peter Parker), and it follows Peter Parker after he's bitten by a radioactive spider and has to protect New York City as its one and only hero. He has to learn what to do. He has to learn what it's like to balance his everyday life and his superhero. And he learns right off the bat that, that it's not easy. The show has 6 seasons and it's all 26 episodes. And to make things different for the origin story, I don't want to like tell the origin story like right off the bat, but I want to do it in a way where I don't repeat origin story, because at this point everyone knows how Peter Parker's origin story is. He was bitten by a radioactive spider on a field trip. His uncle gave him the motivational speech with great power comes great responsibility. Dies, and and the Spider-Man finds the killer, but he lets him go, and then he fights his first villain, and he becomes New York City's hero, and then that's how the series begins. That's how depending on which movie, franchise, TV show you've watched, is how it starts. And every iteration of Spider-Man has its different versions, but majority of almost every Spider-Man iteration hasn't like had a perfect ending. In fact, most Spider-Man media nowadays, when you think about it, it didn't really end the way it wanted, because it either got canceled, or it focused too much on like too much of Peter Parker, Spider-Man being too goofy, and him being too much of a nerd, which of course we want to establish those, but to an extent, you know. But basically, I wanted to make my own version of Peter Parker where he's relatable and annoying, not to the audience, but to of course, the villains he fights. And basically, in my universe, I don't. He's like in the middle of his high school years. Instead of being bitten like around grade, like the start of high school, I want him to be bitten like around towards the middle point of his high school years. That way, I don't know. For me, that's how I want the series to play out. And also, I want to focus not just on like him being Spider-Man, but I also want to try to like have the personal stuff tie into the story. and like have everyone be influential to the story itself. In the first episode, I'm still figuring it out, but basically in my story, Uncle Ben's already dead. In fact, he died when was younger, but still gave him the motivational speech. But Peter was too young to understand those words. But after he fights his first villain, that's when the words really hit, and he slowly learns how to be a hero. My main inspiration for this show are Spectacular Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, TASM Spider-Man, and the Spider-Verse movies. I don't want him to be like perfect, but I want him to feel like his own character, you know? And as the series grows, we get introduced to more characters. We like Aunt May, Harry Osborn, Norman Osborn, Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane Watson, as well as the villains, Scorpion, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Electro, Rhino, Sandman, Mysterio, all of Spider-Man's rogue gallery. And basically, I want to tell my version of the story in a way where it's enjoyable, not and trying to make it majority of the time entertaining, which hence the name of this channel, ET Entertainment Productions. And basically, the first episode begins. Like, I don't want to tell too much because I don't want my work getting leaked. But basically, Peter. All I'm gonna say is this: my version, Uncle Ben dies when Peter was younger. Peter. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, I've only written like episode titles. Like I haven't like written out plots, but I've been debating or not to actually go all out on this. But basically, yeah. And then, anyways, and by the end of the series, Peter graduates high school and goes to college and moves away with MJ. In my version, they get together and move to London and go to college. While afterwards, my version of Miles Morales, takes over as Spider-Man along with Gwen Stacy, Flash Thompson, and Genki Lee. They protect New York City. And trust me, if you thought Peter's adventures in my series was amazing, you haven't seen anything of Miles' adventures. He was mostly a side character throughout Peter when he was introduced in Peter's show, but he becomes more of his own character, and he grows as not just as his own person, but as a leader, and he learns how to deal with all of trials and tribulations that he faces on his adventures. But overall, all the characters are the same. I want the heart of Spider-Man to be at its finest, where Spider-Man faces the typical. He's not rich. He's not a villain. He's not abusing his power. He's helping the neighborhood. I want a more grounded Spider-Man. Sure, we're gonna have multiversal stories, especially in my series, especially in Miles' show. But for Peter's show, we're gonna focus on the street level stories a lot. Sure, multiversal stories are good and all, but what makes Spider-Man so famous and popular is that he's relatable. So I want to use I want to use inspirations like Spectacular Spider-Man, where he's facing money troubles. He gets bullied, and he wishes that he didn't have to live in certain conditions. That's what we love about Spider-Man. Sure, sure, his life may suck, and sure, things don't always go his way, but Spidey stays because Spidey's needed. Heck, the first episode, the first episode is literally titled "Learning the Webs." Peter has to learn how to control his powers and how they can contribute to his life. At first, Peter doesn't know what to do with his powers, and he fears. But he actually, in my series, he uses it to find his uncle's killer, which he's secretly been doing since his uncle's death, since his uncle got killed right in front of him. But Peter, knowing that the killer might recognize him, makes his Spider-Man suit, and he goes around beating up people that look like the same. And starting out as like a vigilante, pretty much. So I want him to learn the consequences of using his powers wrongfully. And by the end of and pretty much the first two episodes are pretty much like a two-parter, and like the first episode is like an hour, pretty much almost an hour, and the second episode is close to an hour. So it's like a two-parter to give them even amounts to balance out the episodes. And each episode, Peter has to face a new problem and has to come up with a new solution. And like his powers often causing him to create more new enemies that will come after him and want to destroy him, because a lot of them blame him for them becoming mutants. Not just mutants, but like in what they believe are freaks, because he causes them to change into stuff that permanently can't be changed. And as a lot of you guys have seen one of my videos, I've made a video dedicating why I love Miles Morales. I didn't really care about Peter's show, to be honest, because I just did it out of fun. But for Miles' show, I went all out. If you guys have seen my Miles show, you know I went all out for it. I went literally all out, taking inspiration from the movies, comics, TV shows, games, just making sure not to like make it the same as the previous iterations, but keeping important stuff, but changing it. Like I have it all in my head. The problem is that like I just write out the episode titles. That's literally the only issue. But I'll start by writing out the characters, stuff like that, and that way it will give me something to work with. Of course, I know all the characters. I just need to understand them more and where they come from. And also, comment down below who's your guys' favorite version of Spider-Man. Who is like the one you relate to the most? Of course, mine is Miles Morales, but who knows? You guys could be liking Peter Parker or Spider-Punk or Gwen Stacy or Ben Reilly's Spider-Man Unlimited. Whatever you guys pick, it's your decision. Let me know down in the comments or even text me on Instagram what you guys believe is your favorite Spider-Man. But basically this video is like giving you how I would write my own version of Spider-Man. And like let me know if you actually want me to like if you want to see more like of my ideas. But like yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As usual, you guys mean a lot to me. Despite you guys don't always comment your feedback, but with those of you who do, and for those of you who always come up to me and are like, yo, I've seen you on YouTube. You're doing great, man. You're very brave for coming out of your comfort zone. And I appreciate all of you who say that. Because trust me, it's not easy. If you saw my first video, you know I was struggling a lot to talk. Like, trust me, I didn't know what to say. Like, I'm still stuttering. And I'm doing this because it's something that makes me happy and something that will help you all. Who knows? Maybe who knows? A lot of you might start posting on YouTube too. I mean, a lot of you post on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, maybe YouTube. But yeah, as usual, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure, as usual, as I said, to like, comment, subscribe. Enjoy your day and take care. Take care and peace.